my name is Anna and this is the third tutorial of SmC. Today we are talking about search configurations with our special guest, Pancakes. As you can see, I have here my own SmC folder and here I have also my Visual Studio Code with SmC already up and running. If you don't know how to download or deploy SmC, you can watch our first tutorial. Customizing the search configuration is really simple because we only need to take a look at this folder here, SRV, and we have three folders. This one is empty, the plugins one, and we should leave it like that. This one only has one JSON collection name config, and we should also leave it like that. We don't need to touch anything from here, but we need to touch the ingv.json inside plugin configs. Here we can find a JSON object with a params object inside that has an endpoints array and client configuration. This is just the name of our instance, so we can access Elasticsearch and find the different catalogs we have in there. And other important thing is here the language. This is going to be one pivot. A pivot is a mandatory parameter that we're going to use to find the different catalogs inside Elasticsearch. In this case, we only have one language that is going to be EN, the language code for English. But if maybe we have also Spanish, we will have in Elasticsearch not just one collection, but two. One with English and one with Spanish. That's why we need always this pivot. We can have more, maybe by store, and we can have an English with code of a store catalog and Spanish with the same store code, the different configurations. And here, pluginless. This means that we are using the Empathy platform-based plugin for search. Sometimes you have a store that has some customizations and you need to have different features that we don't have in the base plugin. In that case, we take a plugin and we start adding those configurations and those customizations. And we create a personalized plugin for that store. And that plugin will be inside this folder. But in this case, SmC is always running using the base product of Empathy Platform. So we don't need to have that plugin and we don't need to have anything in this folder. Next, the important part is the endpoints. We have three endpoints, the empathize, the top click and the search, which probably doesn't make a lot of sense for you. Because here we have 5 catalogs. We have the one with the data of IMDb that will be returned in the search endpoint, but we also have the empathize that of course is going to be returned in the empathize endpoint, and then we have links and search configurations. These two are going to be also returned in the search endpoint because links are the promotions and banners and directs that we are going to show in the result list, and then search configurations are boost and booties that we are using to reorganize the result list. And then top click is going to be returned in the top click endpoint. We also have 3 more endpoints: next queries, related tags, and contextualize. These 3 endpoints return a lot of processed data, and to do that we have an API that is separated from the base product. And we wanted the first version of SmC to be a light one. And that's why we decided to add the public API URLs to SmC and just use our own services. And also that's why we can customize them, at least in this version of SmC. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to start with the search endpoint because it's the most interesting one and because there are a lot of features that are going to be repeated in the other endpoints. So first of all, we are going to see the ID of the endpoint, the name of the endpoint, and you shouldn't change this name. You can do it, but it will bring you a lot of problems if you do that because you need to change it in other files. So just leave it like it is. Next we have the requestors, the features that are inside the endpoint in that are going to make it work like it needs to work. And the type is custom, just leave it like this. It's not that interesting. We have the features inside the requestors, and then we have some configurations that are the links configurations. Inside the features we have two types of features. We have the fallback features and the search features. The fallback features are the ones that are going to be executed after we perform a query and it doesn't have results, or maybe it doesn't have a lot of results. So after that, we are going to execute a spell check because maybe we are not receiving results because the query has a typo. So if we fix it with a spell check, we are going to see results. And the configuration of that is that this collection is of type catalog, maybe it can be of type empathize. Then we have the main collection ID, that is the ID of our client, and is the ID that is going to be used inside Elasticsearch. We have here the secondary collection ID, that is the one that is going to be used if we don't find the primary one. But you can see it's the same one because we are going to find it, and if we don't find it, we don't have another client. So you can also delete this, but I'm going to leave it. And this is just some memory information from Redis. We can also delete it, but I'm going to leave it as it is. Next we have the search features, and this is the interesting part. We are going to find the features that we are always going to execute. In this case, we have here the first one, the searchable fields. These are the different fields that we are going to use in Elasticsearch so we can try to match the query. Just remember from our last tutorial that if you want to write any field here, you need to go to the catalog, and in the description of the field, you need to write all of this information, and it should be always a keyword type. So if you want to add a field here, you need to have the correct mapping so it can work. Then we can give it a weight, a boost, so a field is more important than others. Maybe we want the primary title, that is the first title of a movie, to match a query, but maybe if they are looking for a movie with the original title in the original language, we also want them to find it. But if maybe the primary title of a second movie is the same one as the original title of the first, we want the second to appear before that. Then we have genre, type, and name of image is the field that I created, so if the movie has a poster or an image, it appears before in the search results, so we have a more enjoyable experience. And this is the multi-match feature, and this is the most important one because without it we can look for anything we can search. Then we have this, the sorting one, so we have the different options to sort our products. You can see that we are only using price, but we can add more options. The most important thing is that all the fields we want to use in this feature must be written here in the whitelist, and you don't have to be confused with this fields part because these are just the default options we are offering. Then we have pagination, so we're always returning a maximum of 20 movies, but if we have maybe 40, we have two pages, the first one with 20, the second one with the next 20 movies. And we can change it, we can just select that there are 100 movies, but because of times responses, it's better to have a low number. And then we can select that we can start in the movie number 5 of the top list. It may not make sense because we always want to see the first movie, the one that has the biggest score, but maybe you want to start with the 5th movie and, I don't know, try to create another way of showing the first 5 movies. But this is just pagination. Next, we have here the different filters we are offering. Filtering is the feature that will allow us to write in the URL of our search API request the different fields we want to filter and the values. We have genres, that is a keyword in our catalog mapping, so it's a value one, but then we have type, that is the same, and price, that because it's a number, we are using the range type, so we can select the different ranges and we have that selector in our frontend. And each adult, because it's a boolean, is also a value. These are just to allow them in the URL, like the whitelist on our sort feature. But then we have faceting, which is going to show the different options to the users. And here we can decide that price is going to be shown in different ranges. When we start on 0 until we have the number 10, we are going to have a gap in the range of 5. It means that we are going to have two ranges, one from 0 to 5, next to C to 10. And then from 10 to 40, we are going to have a gap of 10. So 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. So in total, we have 5 ranges. And then the value ones, it is going to take the different values they can have and just show them as options so people can just click on them and see the ones that they want to see just filtered. And these are all the facets we have, the value ones and the range ones. Then we have grouping. Grouping is a feature that will take the field that we write here and take all the products that have the same value inside that field and group them. This is really useful when you have clothing store and you have different sizes or different colors of the same shirt, but you don't want people that look for, a Hello Kitty shirt to see the same shirt in different colors and different sizes. You want them to see the principal model, and then when they go inside the product page, see the colors and the sizes. So you just take that you want to group maybe by a field that has an ID of the group of the shirts. So all of them have the same ID group and they are only shown one time in the result list. So they are grouped. Then we have search hits. That is the feature that is going to allow us to see information in the endpoint, because maybe you have an endpoint and you don't need to see the information it has, you just want to see that it returns a correct status. So if you delete this, the API is going to return an empty body. So if you want to see the result list and all of the information, you need to leave this feature like this. Then total hits is the little part in our API that is going to show us the total number of hits we found. So if you delete this, the little number that usually appears in the top of your result list that says, oh, we found 4 products, we found 100 products, it's going to disappear. And then we have the debug feature that is going to allow us to understand why there are products that appears before other products and all of that information. This is more configuration of the whole endpoint. We already talked about these parameters, but we have here the post-processors. Post-processors are just processors that we are using so we can show more information. We probably can delete that on SmC, but I'm going to leave it like that. So here you can see that I have these results that are matching primary title. Here in sort and filter, I can sort by price, low to high, and it's going to change. And genre, I can select family, and we have it here. Family is adult. Yeah, I hope not. And we can just select the short ones. And if you want to see examples about price, we can go to this query that is love that has a lot of results here. And we can see the different prices. We don't have the first ones, the ones that go from 0 to 5, 5 to 10, because there are not any results that matches that range. And we can see more information if we go to our API URL, the one that is running behind all of this. If we go a little bit down, we can see that we found 4 elements and the different facets with the number of facets for family, with this value, comedy, and everything. This is the same information that we can see here, but on the front end is more friendly. We don't have any direct, we don't have any banner, but we have one promotion. And if we try to look for the bigger one, love, we're going to see more information. 343 elements, but right now I'm just seeing 20. Because if I try to write and start, let's put 300 and rows 2. We can see 2 elements, Love's Masquerade. That is probably the product 300 that we found matching this query. And the different ranges. And if we want to see information about why this order, we can just write debug enabled true. And we are seeing more information here because we are sorting by score. The value is 1 just for sorting. But if we go a little bit down, we are going to see that here the debug query searchable fields original title has a boost of 2 and a multiplier of 2. This is also information we wrote on the search configurations. and all of this information that you will understand if you know a little bit of Elasticsearch. Here we have the grouping by ID, which is not really working because identifier is a field that is always changing, is always different on every movie. The pagination information here, as you can see, we have the start in 300 and the rows in 2, query terms, and a lot of information. Yep. Let's change it. Delete this primary title, name if image also, and original title. This is the same thing I did on my LinkedIn live demo. The pagination should start always in the 10 elements, and I want to see always 40 elements, and I don't want to have the is adult range. I want this to be deleted and this to be changes, and from 10 to 40 I want it to have a difference of a strange number, maybe 7. We can also change this, we can maybe put 30 and here we can put 0. Okay, I'm going to delete this because it's not more a value facet, is adult. I want to delete it. Primary title, like I did in the live demo. Search hits, I want them. Total hits, I want them. And debug, I want them. I can just delete them so we don't have that functionality, but I think that is really interesting for this approach. And now what we have to do to make this work is take our search service, stop it, and then when it is stopped, we need to execute it again. Because when we start the service, it reads the configurations, so we need to stop it and start it again. Okay, so what is happening? The thing that is happening is that I'm looking for love, and there is no type or genre that is love, but there is a type that is short. And I wrote it incorrectly, but you can see that it is not correct, so the spell check worked and it is showing me the results for short. And it's the same thing, and if I do short, it is here, and they are grouped by the title. And if I go here, we can see the price, the strange ranges I did, it is not is adult here. And if I go here and try to see the debug enabled, maybe I am seeing here that is grouped by primary title, the pagination is the one that I selected, and that's all the changes I did. And here we can see the searchable fields that are the ones that I wrote. So as you can see, everything will change depending on what you write on this endpoint. So once we have search endpoint, explaining empathize and top click is really simple, because here we have the same post-processor, the same ID, we have a spell check in the fallback section, we have a special multi-match feature for empathize. At the end, it is not product information, they are just queries, so it is a little bit different. The collection type is empathize, it is using the field keywords to look for the information. As you can see, it is correct. We have a filtering that is only using extra language. We don't need to have a facets feature because we are not giving any option to the shoppers in the front end. We have a sorting by weight, so we can see the most popular queries in the first positions. A pagination that we can change, a grouping that is grouping the keywords, total hits, search hits, and debug. And then on top click, we can see just the search features. We can see that we are filtering by extra lang. We are using the ID to look for the products that are the most clicked one. And this is called top click search, that is a special type of multi-match. We're also having here grouping, pagination, search hits, total hits, and debug. We don't have any collection type. And with this, you have all of the information so you can create any experience you want. You can download and deploy SmC, you can personalize the catalogs of SmC with some limitations, and you can personalize the search experience and the different endpoints. Maybe go big and create new endpoints. You can try to create different search experience. You can try to change the whole catalog. The possibilities are really big, and this is just part of the functionalities we have on Empathy Platform. So I really hope that you found these tutorials useful. And if you want more information, remember that we have the official documentation with a lot of information and a lot of details that I didn't say on these tutorials because I wanted to be a little bit more dynamic. So this was all. Thank you so much.